Prove to me that God is not real, is what a stupid theist would say. Now, hold on a second. I'm not saying that all of you theists out there are stupid. I know that some of you are smart enough to realize why that is not a clever thing to say, and in fact would not say that. But for all of you theists out there that have requested this before to an atheist, or think that this is a reasonable thing to request, let me catch you up. What you just heard is an example of the burden of proof fallacy, which is fallacious because it's not logically possible to prove a negative. And because it's not logically possible, the burden of proof, or the obligation of proof, falls onto the person who is making the positive claim, in this case, that God exists. I have a couple of real-world examples I'd like to make to help demonstrate this. The first is the claim that there has never been a female president of the United States. Well, hold on a second. That's a negative, and I just proved it. That's true, but in this case, every single instance of a United States president can be accounted for, which is why it's possible to prove that specific negative. However, let me give you an example that is more in line with a God existing. What if I told you that I have run a sub 10 second 100 meter time? That's pretty impressive, right? And you say, nah, get out of here, man. You haven't done that. That's I don't believe you, right? So you are claiming the negative in this case. You do not buy my story, and I'm claiming the positive. Now, which one of us has the burden of proof? Is it up to me to demonstrate that I actually have run a sub 10 second 100 meter time, or is it up to you to demonstrate that I haven't? I think most people is pretty obvious, right? Pictures or it didn't happen. I need to provide the evidence to you in order for you to believe it. Now, it would be ridiculous of me to now go to you and say, well, you can't prove that I haven't. And you say, well, no, I can't. I can't prove that you haven't. And they go, ha, see, so therefore I have. So I'm right. No, it doesn't work that way. But let's assume that I did put the expectation on you to prove that I have not ran a 100-meter time. That means that you would have to account for every hour of every day of my entire life and show that I have never done it before, which is just impossible and unreasonable, which is akin to demonstrating that a God doesn't exist.